Hello and welcome to the Sports Centre YouTube channel. So fresh out of the breaking news today that Everton have been deducted further points, we thought we'd jump on the camera and break it down, digest it and go through all the facts and findings. So myself and Carl are here. The Toffees, Carl.
Toffees, they've had a tough season, haven't they?
They have.
They've had a tough season. They've had it been...
So, as my understanding, this is the second investigation now into it. So the first one, they originally had 10 points.
Yeah, which were reduced.
Reduced on appeal. And now this is the second one. It seems... So basically, just a quick rundown. So I've got it here. They have breached the profit and sustainability rule that clubs are allowed to lose £105 million over a period of 3 years. And Everton have breached that ruling by 16.6 million. Now, as a Premier League club, it sounds like nothing really, doesn't it?
Absolutely not. But in effect, they've spent 121 million, haven't they?
Well, some of the spending was ridiculous. I can't remember when they bought Gylfi Sigurdsson for like 50 million quid. And
yeah.
that was quite a while ago now, wasn't it?
Not worth it.
No, it definitely wasn't worth it.
They had a spell, didn't they, under like Ancelotti, maybe Benitez.
You forget that Ancelotti was there.
One or two others where they were spending silly on.
Yeah.
It was as though they were trying to spend this sort of money to justify these big name managers.
Yeah.
It's caught up with them.
It's absolutely kicked him in the arse on it, to be fair. Yeah. So, as a result of their points deduction, Everton have... They've dropped one place in the league, so they're now 16th and 2 points above the relegation zone, which, in the grand scheme of things, you might even think it's... I
feel like they've got away with it.
So what they've had 8 points altogether, and they're still above the relegation zone.
And they've got a game in hand on the two below them.
Have they?
Yeah.
And the one that below them, Forest.
So there's Forest and Luton below them, and they've both played a game more.
And Forest have still got an outstanding case, similar case, haven't they?
Yeah. So this deduction for me means absolutely jack. They're not going down.
But I suppose
and you don't feel like they're going to get penalised from it. I mean, I know Everton fans will feel as though they're constantly being penalised all season because it's not been clear.
Yeah.
I think that's the big issue with it all.
We'll kind of go on to that in a little bit. So Everton have actually said that they're going to appeal this. And there's three main points of which they're going for. So point number one, this is reading off the Everton website. They have released a statement saying that they're going to appeal it on the grounds that they've already had a points deduction, which to me doesn't seem right, because if you broke the rules twice, you need to get punished twice.
Absolutely.
So just because you've had a punishment previously, however many weeks or months ago, why does that allow you to then think, oh, well, we'll let you off the hook for this one?
If anything, the punishment should be tougher.
Well, yeah, true.
Hang on, you've cocked up once.
Yeah, why are you doing it again?
Then you've done it again. You're obviously not learning from it, or you're just taking the piss out of the rules. Therefore, your punishment's double.
Yeah. Well, and so the second point of why they're appealing, which to me is quite a valid reason, really, and they're claiming a loss of revenue due to suspension of sponsorship from a Russian company, which obviously is all to do with the war with Ukraine. So that actually, if you think about that, that's quite a telling factor, really, isn't it?
It is, and I have a bit of sympathy with them there.
I do.
But I also, on that exact little piece, the people, or is it the PSR governing body, whatever you want to call them, have said they should have realised that with them going into war with Russia, they should have taken into account potentially that, should we be dealing with these people?
Really?
They've also said it should be when that happened, the war went on, when the Salisbury poisoning attack, anybody dealing with Russians...
They're on a Russian, though.
Usmanov. Yeah, so you were an oligarch that then got all his assets seized in,
I
don't know if it was Europe, but definitely UK.
Yeah, but similar to Abramovich.
Exactly, same as Abramovich. But they were saying, just because you were dealing with a Russian, whether he's your owner or not, you should have been sceptical and thought, hang on a minute. I don't buy into that. I think that is really, really tough.
Yeah, I do. I don't buy into that at all. I think that is because, as I say, if you are of Russian heritage and you own a football club, you're going to have a lot of contacts in Russia, in your native country. So therefore, we all know that it's a very profitable company. Russia, they've got a lot of assets out there, and what do you want to do as a football club owner? You want to give your football club as much funding as possible to be able to then spend it on the pitch and off the pitch. So I do have a little bit of sympathy for that.
I do.
And then the third point, which they are kind of putting against their appeal, is that they pleaded guilty from the get-go, and they've been very cooperative with the commissioners throughout the whole process. So therefore,
there should be some leniency there.
Yeah, which again, I don't buy it. I just think, come on, if you broke the rules, you broke the rules, and just because you can't commit a crime and I mean, do you get a lower sentence to plead guilty?
Well, apparently you do.
All right. Well, I suppose that's what
I don't like it though. If you've done the crime, you do the time.
No, I'm not for that either. Now, one point that Everton have also mentioned as well on their statement is that they are extremely concerned by the inconsistency of the punishments given out on 4 occasions this season by 4 different commissioners.
Yeah.
So it sounds like
one's saying this amount of points, one's saying that amount of points.
Yeah.
It's like there's no consistency, there's no stature.
So am I right in thinking then that the Premier League or whoever is in charge of these rules, which I'm guessing is the Premier League,
the FA or whoever, yeah,
they're appointing independent commissioners then to carry out these investigations for them?
Must be.
So as I read that, then the Premier League have obviously had 4 different cases this season. They've employed 4 different commissioners, and they've all come up with
their own opinion
punishments for it.
It's like me and you saying how many points do you think they should have? How many points should that? It seems as daft as that. I mean, whether it probably isn't quite as straightforward as that, but
in my eyes, I think why aren't they using either? Well, you would have thought someone of the stature of the Premier League or IFAB or whoever it is that's carrying out these investigations, they would have an in-house team to do it, or failing that, to get the level of consistency, why aren't they using the same bodies every single time?
Absolutely, it should be.
They should be, shouldn't they?
Should be, yeah. But you hear a lot of people talking about saying, well, why can't we know that you breach it by this and you get 10 points, but you breach it by this, you get 8 points?
Yeah.
That don't work, does it? Because if you
can kind of strategize your season,
exactly,
you?
You could think, hang on a minute, we're not going to get relegated.
Yeah.
We can spend X amount and get deducted 5 points.
Yeah.
So that don't work.
Well, so that kind of leads into what we were having a chat the other day. It was on one of the overlap fan debates, and they were speaking to the Forest fan, and I was saying and basically they were saying that it was almost worth them breaching because it kept them up last year.
Yeah,
and it sounds so mad that it's like, all right, well, we'll commit the crime sort of thing because we'll be more profitable.
Yeah.
At the end of it, and
the punishment won't be that bad to warrant us
exactly
going down. Being, it doesn't make it makes sense for them to break the rules.
Well, so Forest, we're going off topic here with Everton, but obviously my understanding is that Forest broke the rules last season, but they stayed up last season, and even so they'll get the Premier League money again this season, and also as well, if they go down, they're going to cash in on the parachute payment for the next 3 years. So he's right in what he's saying, that it almost pays dividends to break the rules because it makes Forest more profitable.
Definitely, yeah.
It's just mad. And
while we're on Forest as well, they've obviously had a deduction, haven't they?
Did they get a deduction, or did they just get a bit of a?
They've got it, and they've appealed it, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think they get 4 points.
And
they appealed it, and because they're appealing it, they might end up getting more points.
Oh, if they don't win.
Yeah. Well, is this what they're saying with Everton? These 2 points that they've just been done now, they're saying that they're going to appeal it on these 3 points you've just mentioned. What if they lose on these points? Will they get a higher?
Yeah, higher sanction,
higher points. No, that's not. I've not heard anybody talk about that.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Again, it's one rule for another.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what Everton's argument with these different bodies that are carrying out these investigations. There's no consistency.
And I think everyone's on that. Everyone, whether you support Everton or you support your own, whatever team you support, everyone is in agreement there just needs to be some consistency. I mean, the whole of football needs some consistency. Never mind just this.
Yeah, true.
There needs to be a big overhaul.
Well, I'm sure this won't be the end of it. I'm sure we'll probably, as the days go on, we'll hear more about this story. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button as always. Share the content, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ta-ra for now.